This amazing crowd is in for one hell of a match.
How dangerous is a Falls Count Anywhere match, King?
Oh, geez, extremely dangerous. But here's the thing. These superstars have to sign a contract to compete in a match. They know what they're getting themselves into.
He's doing everything he can to get his bearings back here. Otherwise, this match could be over sooner than anyone could have anticipated.
Yeah, Cole, this is when you have to settle things down. Get the blood flowing back in your body and strategize what your next move or your next form of attack will be.
Dean Ambrose can go stride for stride with any superstar in WWE, no matter how big or small. Ambrose launches a frenzied assault on opponents that combines brawling, air assaults, and submissions.
Well, Michael, what makes the attacks you mentioned even more deadly for an opponent is that Dean Ambrose is one of the most unconventional superstars we've ever seen. No one knows what he's going to throw at any opponent next.
Well, let's quickly get your opinion on Dean Ambrose.
It's not wise to get on the bad side of a man like Dean Ambrose. And Rollins with the reversal.
Putting some power on display with that takedown.
It's nearly impossible to deal with this type of power.
Dean Ambrose's range of skills certainly venture into the unusual, but the attacks and strategies helped Ambrose become the longest reigning United States champion in WWE history with a 351-day championship reign. That's the third longest ever if you include the title's history in WCW and the NWA. Roman Reigns seems helpless.
Not today, too fast.
My God, his body's been through hell, and his ribs have bore the brunt of the attack.
Man, I hope we can get a doctor out here as a precaution. Damaged ribs like that can make it hard to breathe. You know, Dean Ambrose looks a little unhinged, and I won't argue that. But when you see Ambrose dismantle his opponents with speed, high-flying attacks, and all sorts of violence, there's no doubt that there's definitely a method to his madness.
Dean Ambrose is in trouble here, but you still have to be careful. Some very opportunistic offense here.
Well, the trick sometimes when you get outside the ring is survival. The match becomes almost secondary when you get near all these dangerous objects.
The single-leg Boston Crab.
Oh, man, a hole named after the Beantown.
I don't believe the destruction we're seeing.
This guy's just going from one painful move to another. Well, we're on the move here.
That was rough.
Oh, once you get out of the...
And there's the release. What's going to happen now?
I'm scared to ask.
The eccentric and calculated Dean Ambrose has created an unbelievable arsenal to punish his opponents. To those opponents, they must be aware of the neckbreaker, kitchen sink knee, running drop kick, snap DDT, and his corkscrew elbow.
You can practically feel the wear and tear that's been done throughout this match.
Oh, wait, nice reversal.
My God, his body's been through hell, and his ribs have bore the brunt of the attack.
Man, I hope we can get a doctor out here as a precaution. Damaged ribs like that can make it hard to breathe.
I'd say that's more embarrassing than anything else.
Oh, out here you have to be able to think on your feet lightning fast. One mistake, one moment of hesitation, and you can find yourself in a world of hurt. You know, Michael, you spoke earlier about the array of moves that Dean Ambrose has, and I'll add the several types of suplexes he flattens foes with. I know he hopes to punish opponents with every move, and it's important to remember that each of Ambrose's moves can and will change the course of a match.
Quick thinking to avoid that.
Oh, I think this man means business.
Oh, once you get out of the ring, anything can happen. You've got exposed steel, concrete, the barricades, and all of it can be used to cause massive damage. Seth Rollins knows how to polish off an opponent.
The lunatic French Dean Ambrose is so maniacal, he perfected several submission holds to cripple his adversaries. Ambrose is proficient in applying the crossface chicken wing, the bow and arrow, the Fujiwara armbar, and the figure 4 leg lock.
Well, that gives you a peek into Dean Ambrose's psyche. If you dare want to take that trip, Ambrose loves destruction, and he loves inflicting pain on others. Winning a match or just leaving an opponent beaten and battered, it's all the same to Dean Ambrose.
You could call this a good old-fashioned butt whooping.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're witnessing, a butt whooping.
You can see him struggling to stand after all the damage he's taken.
He needs to dig way down deep if he wants to keep going now. Look at this hang time.
Incredible.
Dean Ambrose just loves attention, doesn't he?
Not today. Too fast.
It starts to feel like a broken record with that move.
Oh, out here you have to be able to think on your feet lightning fast. One mistake, one moment of hesitation, and you could find yourself in a world of hurt. Oh, wow. Well, the trick sometimes when you get outside the ring is survival. The match becomes almost secondary when you get near all these dangerous objects. Look at this, Seth Rollins. He's got to be out of his...
Here we go. Here we go. He's hanging on for dear life. Look at this dominance. This isn't a match. It's a massacre.
Inside the ring again.
Yeah, and they should be. This is where the action needs to be. That's a great example of a highly efficient and highly effective strike. What placement.
Oh, this spells trouble right here.
The super kick, this one is in the books.
You're right. This one's as good as over after that super kick. Look at this. He's just barely moving. I'm not sure he can get back to his feet. Well, there's no wiggle room here for Seth Rollins. Into the sleeper hole, cutting off the flow of blood to the brain. It essentially knocks you out, but you can call it sleeping. Ow!
Oh, what a shot. That did some serious damage. You can't take too many of those and expect to be in the match much longer.
And the referee's count is broken. Talk about just in the nick of time.
No kidding. I'll tell you, I really thought that was going to be all she wrote.
Oh, here we go. Roman Reigns using his power and agility to create his own momentum here, and it's propelling him to take control of this match. Roman uses the adage, I can, I will, as his battle cry.
Incredible impact on that. Quickly into the cover with the title on the line. They're still alive.
Yeah, Cole, you remember that song back in the day? Staying Alive? Well, that was it in WWE terms.
Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. What a completely unbelievable move by Roman Reigns.
Whoa, a direct hit. Talk about getting
The shoulder.
And he escapes with a kick out.
Well, like him or not, you won't be Dean Ambrose like that.
We're looking at complete domination here.
Oh, Roman Reigns going in. Not a lot of spring left in his step right now.
Seth Rollins gets out of trouble, and quickly. Looking for the win. Seth Rollins delivers the pain in an astonishing fashion, folks. Ouch. One. And he breaks the cover, forcing the referee to stop the count.
Well, that's just not enough to get the job done. What else do you have to do to keep this guy down? And that's a shot that could drop a grizzly. This match has taken so much out of this guy. He's not going to give up. But, man, this has been...
Submission locked in, and this might be it. What diabolical things are going through that mind right now?
When you get in control like this, you want to throw everything at your opponent. And that could be what we're seeing here. Boy, he just got laid out.
Oh, what a shot. That did some serious damage. You can't take too many of those and expect to be in the match much longer.
Oh, out of nowhere. Look at that reversal. What strength. No, not again.
Whoa, a direct hit. Talk about getting tagged and knocked in the middle of next week.
Oh, what a chop.
A great string of offense. You do anything you can for something to result in an advantage and ultimately victory.
Look at Roman Reigns here.
Looking for all the glory here.
Oh, and he stops the count. What action. A bit of contempt coming through on...
Hey, the shoulders are down. 2.
This match has been 100 miles per hour since the opening bell.
And I don't see any slowing down in the future. This is a great matchup. I'm loving it. Oh, I'm not sure I can watch this. No, not again. Oh, the trick sometimes when you get outside the ring is survival. The match becomes almost secondary when you get near all these dangerous objects.
We may have discovered his favorite move.
You think? He seems to use it often enough. Oh, out here you have to be able to think on your feet lightning fast. One mistake, one moment of hesitation, and you can find yourself in a world of hurt.
Man, Seth Rollins, what offense!
He needs to dig way down deep if he wants to keep going now. Oh, this may very well end it.
Perhaps Dean Ambrose has this match won now, people.
There's the finishing move.
Shoulders down. Championship on the line.
2, 3. And he keeps it. What a win. And here's some highlights from the matchup. Let's take a look at some of the big highlights. You want to talk about crowd pleasing? We may be looking at the match of the year.
Here's your winner and still the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Dean Ambrose.
He gets a victory here tonight. Love him or hate him, that was an incredible match.
An incredible match and a big, big victory.
I can assure you that that is not how Seth Rollins envisioned this one going. Guys, I have to say, that was an amazing match.